It is a warm one here in Queensland today. 31 degrees, subtropical Queensland. Very humid air coming down from the Gulf. Luckily there's a nice breeze blowing me across this lake. So try and chase some bait in this early afternoon. It's about 1:30. Trying in some deeper water for some fish this time rather than in shallows. Hoping they might be in the cooler, deeper water. Well, I am seeing a few little fish coming up to the surface. Nothing of size. And not a bite so far. Lots of red claw pots here, which is good to see. Got mine in as well. Fingers crossed we can actually get some red claw this weekend. That'd be lovely. Just going past one now. One thing I noticed, I do need to get one of the little white polystyrene balls. Got my name on it and so forth, which is what you're supposed to do. I've just got an old milk carton. Nothing more frustrating than sitting in a spot, tied up to a tree, and there's fish rolling across the surface everywhere, and you just can't work out what they're taking. The lure I used last time to catch a couple of bass on, unfortunately I didn't replace it, so that's a bugger. And I'm trying everything in my arsenal to see if I can get what these guys are eating. Is it small bait fish or little crustaceans or what it is? As I say, I know they're here, it's just working out what they're eating, and right here in front of me. Incredible. So that I can catch one of these buggers for dinner. Well, if the fish here aren't going to bite, we'll try somewhere else. Find a little inlet over here in the shade. I can get blown onto the bank, so go a bit further out into the mouth of this little inlet. When we get into some deeper water, we'll do a bit of trolling on the way, and we'll try something else. Well, I gave up on the shallows. I've come right out into the middle. I'm going to troll this guy all the way back to camp. It's about 3 o'clock now. So we'll troll him back to camp, out through the deeper water, back in around him, back into the bay. If nothing, then we'll be back to camp for a bit of a snack and a cold beer. But a hankering for a cold beer, I must admit. Cheers, guys. Whoa. Cooper's Australian Lager. Gee, it's a nice drop. Let's get more of these guys. Well, lunch / afternoon tea is a Baby Bell cheese and a salami stick. Another bust with the fishing. But it's only 3 o'clock. I think we'll do the same thing I did last time. That's go out in the evening. There's a little bit of weed bed down the bottom here as well. I might even throw a frog up onto that as it gets into the cooler hours. But I tell you, this is a nice spot to camp. Got a lovely breeze coming up straight into my face here, which is really nice. So I think for the next hour or so I might be read a book, have a beer, and relax around camp. 5 PM and we're back out on the water. The wind's actually picked up stronger at the moment, so I'm just going down the end of this little bay, right down into the shallower area, to see if any fish are starting to move up the system itself, looking for nighttime surface food and so forth. The fishing on the bank didn't work out, unfortunately, nothing there either. Running out of ideas here. One thing I have to say though is the fishing's not necessarily about fishing and catching fish and all that sort of stuff. Yes, I want to catch a fish for dinner, but really it's just an excuse to get out on the water. I'm going to get out the water anyway. If I'm fishing, it gives me something to look for and to focus on and target and so forth. A bit of hunting, which is always good fun, but it just gets me out on the water. It's just so relaxing to be out in the water, whether it's fishing or not. It's just lovely being out here. It's just an excuse to get out on the water. That's the reality. If I catch something for dinner, that's a bonus. As you know, I always bring dinner, so no huge pressure. But I really enjoy just getting on the water, and I do enjoy the hunt for bass. They are an elusive fish, so we will persist, as they say. Well, sheer luck, I found this net here for red claw, and inside it's this turtle. Now luckily he's alive, so he will live, but it just shows you even these nets will catch these poor little guys. We're going to try and get him out now. Poor little bugger. I don't even know how this guy got any. It's a bit of a fatty. But for those of you that are worried about me pulling out another pipe, this was the only one that wasn't touched the entire time I was there, which was about a 24 to 28 hour period. It was just tied to a tree. There was no markings on it, no identification and so forth, which you're not supposed to do. And as I said, the line looked quite old, so I was a bit concerned about it being an older pot and something being trapped in it, and sure enough there was a turtle. So not what I would normally do. If it was just red claw I would have thrown it back, not interested at all. But I have had this on the Tangel River in Victoria, where we actually found a freshwater cray in a trap down there that someone had had in the four-wheel drive camp and just took off, left it there to die. So it's not the first time I've had this type of thing to happen. So as I said, not the sort of thing I would do that, and certainly wouldn't touch anyone else's crab pots. Away he goes. Well, it just shows you all nets can catch these poor little turtles. You can see it's just tied up to the tree here. You'd never even know that net was there. It's in relatively good nick, so God knows how long it's been there, poor little guy. But if you know anything about these little turtles, they do need to get to the surface to breathe every now and then. I've been seeing them poking their little heads up all over the place, so he's obviously only been down there for I don't know how long, but he lived, he's out of here, and he's a happy camper, so that's a good save. Well, I have to say that makes me a bit paranoid now. I'm going to go back and check my own net. It's the same style of net, which is supposed to be better for turtles. Turns out it's not. So I'm going to go and pull mine up, check it as well. Make sure there's nothing caught in there. I do notice that particular net though had cat food in it. Now, all the information I'm getting on red claw is that they're actually a vegetarian, so you're supposed to use melons and so forth, which is what I've used, a rock melon. So I don't know whether it was the cat food that lured that particular turtle in there or what, but just glad I got him out. As I said, a bit paranoid about mine now, so we'll go and have a look on the way over. Alright, let's have a look at mine. Happy with those red claw in there. So a red claw dinner. Nope. Not a thing, unfortunately. Just a whole lot of leaves. We might just move it though a little bit further out and see if that helps. Well, still not a bite. Not a fish. Not an inkling of a fish. Everything we've caught today is a turtle. Not sure that I should be eating turtle. Well, with that fish, you end up with burgers again, which is great. One of my favourite camp foods is hamburgers. Whoa, whoa, whoa. So not too worried about that. Very happy in fact. Lovely night, but very, very warm. Still about 22 degrees Celsius. Far too hot for a fire. Got the little firebox going. That's going to be more than enough heat for tonight, I can tell you. Well, the wind hasn't dropped off at all. It stopped for a little while there while I was eating my dinner. It's back up again, so it's frustrating. Got bitten by mosquitoes before. I got absolutely hammered. They were buzzing around me everywhere, and I put up this little flex tail insect repeller, and it does seem to be working. There's an odd one comes around. I've only got one card. You can put 2 cards on this thing. I'll do a review on it later on down the track, but it has got rid of the mosquitoes, I must admit. As I said, I put it on, or before I put it on, there's probably about a dozen or more, 10, 20, buzzing around. I got bitten all down my legs, neck and so forth. And it took about 10 or 15 for it to warm up and to be able to produce whatever it is it's producing. And I've just got it up there. And I'm not getting any more mosquitoes. I've had the odd one, occasional one, but just absolutely reduced and really well. So that's pretty happy with that. No fish this afternoon, but we will get up nice and early. And I'm going to get out and down and go around down the bay a bit further and see if I can find something down there. I noticed when I pulled the pot out this afternoon that there was something actually eating it. I'm not sure whether fish are getting in there or whether there's red claw getting in and out. I don't know what's going on there, but there was certainly something eating it, that's for sure. But, we will check that in the morning. Hopefully we'll have some red claw, but if not, as I said, I'll head up nice and early, head down the bay, down around this lake, and we'll see if we can catch ourselves a bass for breakfast or for lunch to take home. Cup of tea as always. As I said, a little bit of rock melon, which is the bait I've been using, and I'll watch these stars move around the sky and then get to bed. Woken up to an absolute cracker of a morning. Only the slightest breeze at the moment. Heading over to the far side of the lake here, so that the wind's not blowing me into the bank. It'll actually be blowing me away from the bank. See a bunch of trees over that way. We'll head over there into the snags. See if you can find some bass hanging around. Or yellow belly. Either would do. Pretty good night's sleep last night. For those who are interested, the airbed, I contacted Cedar Summit and they said yes, that is a warranty claim, please provide your receipt, which of course I didn't have. I don't know about you guys, but I only tend to keep receipts for 2 or 3 months, and if everything's okay I then get rid of them. Luckily I'd purchased the actual airbed through Wild Earth here in Australia, and Wild Earth have got a brilliant system. You simply email them, contact their support guys, they look up your email and bang, they found my receipt, which was brilliant. They actually printed it off, or sorry, they actually then emailed it through to me. I was able to forward that through to Cedar Summit and they said no problem at all, go back into their store and I'll give you a new one. Can't complain about that, that's excellent news. I was very lucky that Amy from Amy Outdoors, she's got another canoeing channel here in Australia, I'll put a link to her channel in the description below. She was the one that actually told me about it. She'd had a similar problem with a couple of hers, and she said it's a known problem. They had a couple of faulty batches, and they're happy to replace them, and sure enough, that was the case. So thank you, Amy. Really appreciate that. And yeah, otherwise a very good night's sleep. Can't complain at all. The crows woke me up at about 4:30, 4:45. The light turns up in the morning at about 4 AM here in Queensland, subtropical Queensland. So by 4:30 they were all hanging around camp waking me up. So I decided, why not, let's get up, get into this fishing business. Just tied up on the bank here. A little bit out of the wind and a bit of shade. A few casts around here. Just on 7:30. Wind's already up. Not sure if the chop affects fishing or not for bass. Any experts out there, let me know. The other thing I have picked up on in this particular lake and the last place I was at is the yellowy mustardy water. It's not that beautiful dark bottle green, which it should be. So I'm not sure if there's algae in the water. It's just because of the wind action and so forth, or what it is, but definitely would make a difference, I would have thought. And obviously that has something to do with the water temperature as well, so all fascinating stuff. Gotta love lakes where you can come into these beautiful little spots all by yourself. Pretty little glade of gum trees. Really picturesque. Lovely light this time of the day. No joy at all. Let's head back over to my side of the lake. Have a think about what we can do, maybe have another coffee. And work out what the plan's going to be from here. The wind's really picking up now. There's whitecaps on the lake punching into. We're going across at an angle. So yeah, it might be a bit of a blowout day. It's going to get even warmer today, 32, 33 degrees. I know I'm always doing weather report, but just trying to give you an idea of what I'm putting up with, or what I'm dealing with, I should say. So anyway, that's it. We'll head back and see how we can work out. Well, unfortunately it blew up an absolute gale on the way back to camp, so the unanimous decision was to pack up and head back. I've just been powering down the lake now with the tailwind, which has been nice, and I've just pulled into a little inlet here to change lures. No fish so far, but hey, we'll keep trying. As I said last night, it's really just about getting out in the water, enjoying myself, and whether I catch fish or not doesn't really matter. If I catch a fish, yeah, fantastic, that's a bonus, but if I don't, that's okay as well. It's just great to be on the water. So look, thank you for joining me on this trip this week. Really enjoyed it. I hope you did too. I'll see you all in a fortnight's time. Bye for now.